Why, hello there. You caught me in the midst of Donkey Kong Jr. Now, you might be wondering, isn't this Atari Night? Shouldn't this, be bald, brown, naked Homer Simpson runs around on bars and sticks? No. This episode of Atari Night's a little different. We're going to be playing some 7800 games today. Now, this is very close to the 2600 version of Donkey Kong Jr. Or, not 2600, the NES version. But this version is often criticized for its, well, quite frankly, harsh sounds, and blockier visuals. Really shows you what the NES was capable of compared to the 7800. And strangely enough, I don't have the 2600 version of this game yet. I have all the other Nintendo games, even Sky Skipper, but not this one. Now, if you couldn't already tell, I am just terrible at Donkey Kong Jr. on the Atari 7800. Whereas I can reliably loop the game like 2, 3, 4 times on the 7800 version of the original Donkey Kong. This game is pretty different. I consider myself lucky if I can beat the 4th stage. I'm missing one game from my Nintendo trilogy on the 7800. That is Donkey Kong. Not Donkey Kong Jr. That's what we're playing now, silly goose. No, that is Mario Brothers, which I really want. It's probably the number 1 on my 7800 wish list. This game was sent to me for free by someone on Atari Age. Goes by the name CJ Hare. I hadn't known him before. He just completely out of the blue was like, hey, see, you got a 7800 recently. I have some games I don't really play anymore because I have a multi-cart. You want them? I'll just send them to you. And he just sent them to me. And that's most of the games we're going to be playing today. Let's see, all but 7 of them. No, wait. No. All but 4 of them. I don't know why I was thinking 7. Of my collection. Wait, no. It is 7. It is 7. Yeah, it's 7. I didn't take into consideration. Whatever. All but 7 of the games are from him. I have about 30 games now. 7800, if you haven't heard from my other videos, I love this system. Like, I love this system. I'm playing these games today with the, what is known as the Pro Line or Pain Line controller. Which I think I'm the only person in the world that actually likes. I really like this controller. It does require a lot of fixing, breaks, quite frequently. But, you know, I like it. I really do. The sound is pretty harsh on this. Oh, and on the 3rd level, I die. I told you I sucked at this. The sound is very harsh on the 7800 because it's just using 2600 sound. 2 games, one of which I have, had a built-in audio chip. That was the Pokey, which was on a lot of Atari arcade games. The 5200 had it, which is really crazy to think about. The 5200 had better sound than its successor, the 7800. And the computers had it too. For examples for the arcade machines, I believe Crystal Castles had it, and I know for a fact Centipede did. Anyways, that was Donkey Kong Jr. Crazy to think that in '88, same year, Mario 2 came out here, and Mario 3 came out in Japan. Atari was publishing these old arcade ports, based on the NES versions from 1983, no less, on their system. Just a bit of a loophole in the law. Well, anyways, on to the next game. It's dangerous, it's devious, it's Xevious. That's what the back of the box said when this was released. A lot of these games were programmed in '84, and a lot were test released in '84. But most of the system didn't see a nationwide release until '86. But it had a test in Sunnyvale, California, '84. Then Jack Tramiel bought the company, made it Atari Corp instead of Atari Inc. And just sat on it for 2 years. And by then it was too late. The NES had already come out. Super Mario Brothers. Yeah, but I still prefer the 7800 to the NES. No offense, NES, you're still a great system. Anyways, this is Xevious, '84. I believe the NES version was released first on the Famicom in '85, and this holds up very favorably to that. As you can tell, the grass, well, if you don't know the NES version very well, basically a lot of the things on the ground, like the grass and the forest, are like just, they're almost plastic-like. There's no texture to them whatsoever. So this holds up very well, and with the 2600 sound, it does its best to sound good. Now, a common complaint I get with this version, I hear, is that you can't fire the bombs and laser independently. It's just going to be like this. That's actually not true. If you flip the difficulty switch into the B position, you can fire them independently. But the reason that there is a mode to not do that is if you're using like a 2600 controller with only one button. That's why you stick with the Pro line. I don't like it in that mode. I like just playing it with the 2 buttons. But you know, in a pinch it works. Oh, I should know I'm not very good at this game either, but I did much better on the failed Atari Night episode 2, where I filmed the entire hour-long episode and forgot to turn on my mic. This is actually just a redux, in case you didn't hear that tragic story. I got to the mothership and then some. But there's no video evidence to back that up because I deleted it in a rage. Oof, can't believe I did that. You know, I have a feeling this redux is going to be even better than that could have been. It took me a few days to cool off. Ugh. But yeah, you can fire independently. A lot of emulators will have it so that the difficulty switch is always A, I found. Stella DS, I haven't found a way to change the difficulty switch. Online it says to use the X button, but that just doesn't work for me. Oh, so I'm start playing on difficulty A whenever I want to play Atari on my DS. Oh, if you have a DSi sitting around, you should jailbreak it. It's really worthwhile, I'd say. Oh, I wonder if my controller's acting up. It just seems to be a little unresponsive. That was Xevious. It was dangerous and devious, and I sucked at it. So I guess not to the next game. Two things I forgot to mention. This is Dig Dug, by the way. 2 things I forgot to mention. The high score book. So first of all, see, what was that first game we played? Donkey Kong Jr. Current high score is, according to the book, 36,700. Probably didn't exceed that. For Xevious, 36,970 for Dig Dug here. Get a load of this. It's very funny. 69,420. Get your guffaws out now. I know for a fact I beat that, and I wrote it. I didn't have my notebook at the time, so I wrote it down on a piece of paper. But I can't find that piece of paper. But anyways, let's play Dig Dug. Oh, the second thing I wanted to mention. If you want a copy of Xevious for the 7800, please tell me, because I have 2 extras laying around that need a home. Yeah, I think there's something up with this controller. It's having trouble with down today. Just cleaned it too. Ugh. Uh-oh. Ugh. You know what? I'm gonna break an Atari Night rule and just start this over. This is going very poorly. Yeah, it's really not letting me go down, is it? A common complaint I've heard with this version of Dig Dug is that it doesn't allow you to use the rapid fire, but as you've seen, I just did that. For a long time, I didn't think there was a way to do it either, but there is. It's just a very, very specific pattern of tapping on the button. You can't just mash it. You have to wait like a half second or so until after you've done that first pump before you can mash it. Or, I'm not doing it justice, I'm not trying to explain it really well or anything, but just sort of a thing you get into the rhythm of. Also, the lower you are, the more points you will get for killing the enemies. And also, if you approach the Figar, which is the dragon guy from the side, you will get more points than if you approach him from the top or bottom, so that's worth more points doing that than if I got him from the head or feet. Also, every 2 rocks you send crashing down, you will get a... Well, not every 2 rocks, just after 2 rocks. You'll get like a fruit or something. In that case, I grabbed a mushroom. It's also worth noting that high score I got was not with a Pro-Line controller, which I'm using now. It was with a CX40. Not an excuse for my suckery, but just wanted to Oh no. See, that's what I mean. If you don't get that specific pattern, you're kind of stuck in that slow pumping up phase. My throat is very itchy today. Oh, that's why. It's 55 degrees out for the first time in months, and it's springtime. Oy, allergies. Might have to take a break from Let's Playing. Yeah, it's gonna start kicking in any day now. Oh, I'm dreading that. And those Figars can shoot fire at you, and that's why it's worth more points if you, hit them from the front. Because it's riskier, because they could just do that and burn you. You don't have to kill enemies to get the fruit to spawn, just drop the rocks. Oi. I won't be getting my green beans now. The sun's coming. Oh, darn it. The sun is coming out a lot, or setting a lot later. When is daylight savings? Like, next Sunday? Maybe? Oh, that's pathetic. I didn't even get an extra life. Somehow more pathetic than my pathetic score from excuse me, the original Atari Night 2. Well, that sucked. On to the next game. Would it not be a sad day if I did this entire video without Food Fight? No, not based on the horrible 2012 movie that was supposedly stolen and had to be remade from scratch. No, this is Charlie Chuck's Food Fight, one of the best arcade games you've never heard about. And probably the best reason to go out and say, you know what? I need a 7800. I'm gonna give myself a little treat. Buy one of the best systems ever made. And this is the best game for that system. I love this game so much. And it never gets any recognition. The only ports were this, and an awful computer version for the XE, and an awful version for the flashback. The original Atari flashback, actually, which was based on the 7800. Now you're this boy, his name is Charlie Chuck. You're at the carnival, and there are these chefs, Zorba, Jacques, and I forget the other two. Whatever. And you have to kill them with the food and get to the ice cream before it melts, which I'm probably gonna fail at. Oh, no, just made it. So, yeah, that's basically all you do. Just throw food at them and make it to the ice cream cone. I like to, on these earlier levels, before it really speeds up, just keep shooting them until I hear the warning bell. Then, just go get the ice cream. gradually make your way across the screen, shooting chefs with food until the very last second, and then eating the ice cream. You can carry food over to the next level, which can be very helpful. My high score for this was a fluke. It was like a 400 something. Never been able to get that close again. But who knows, after that Commando luck, maybe we'll be able to get somewhere today. The arcade version of this had analog control, which is why I've not been able to get it working through MAME reliably. My nunchuck just keeps going to the right, and I've never been able to fix that really. But from the little bit I could play, you know, it was pretty enjoyable port. I should mention this is main Wii, if you couldn't tell from the nunchuck. But we play Atari Night on real hardware. Oh yes, sometimes we'll get instant replays with this catchy song. It's hard not to sing along, but I wanted you to hear that, because it's so good. Music in this game is phenomenal. This game was supposed to come out for the Atari 2600, I believe. There was a part number assigned to it, but sadly, no prototype has been found. I wonder how finished it was. But we have it on the 7800. This would have been good on the 5200 actually, because that had analog control. But then again, it's not very good analog control. Around level 17, they start speeding up to the really fast chefs we all dread. If they even come in contact with a pile of food, they'll just completely exhaust it in less than a second. They'll just throw everything at you. Oh, it gets so hard, but it's so much fun. Just buy Food Fight right now. Just go out and get Food Fight. It's so good. Angelo, Zorba, Jacques. There, I remembered one of them, Angelo. But what was the other one's name? Was it Pierre? Gustav, maybe? Guess we won't know until the Google machine when I'm done playing. Oh! If you haven't noticed already, I'm going to edit this video. That should be fun. Ooh. Whenever there's a close call, it should trigger an instant replay, so I wonder if that will trigger an instant replay. I hope so. Ah, dang it. No instant replay. Oh, that must trigger an instant replay. Unless I die like a dummy to freaking armless chefs. Well, I guess they do have arms, because how can they throw the food? Maybe retractable arms. Yeah, that triggered one. That was close. Look at how it just whizzed right over my head. That tomato. Look at that. If you'd like to learn more about the Atari 7800 and its games, I would recommend listening to the No Swear Gamers podcast. Phil, the No Swear Gamer, the 7800 Game by Game podcast. I know last time was all about plugging the 2600 Game by Game podcast, but this time it's all about the 7800. We'll return to the 2600. Maybe next time. Maybe not. But that podcast has been over for years because he finished all the games. But, oh, was it fun. I didn't get to listen to it while it lasted, unfortunately. I would have sent in some feedback, but this was 2015, 2016. He's also covered every game on his show on YouTube, The No Swear Gamer. Check those out as well. Yeah, when I first got this back in early October, every spare second of my day was devoted to food fight. Between classes, food fight. Oh, lunch, food fight. Study hall, food fight. Some Galaga and Xevious too, but mostly food fight. This is the game everyone's like, this is why you need a 7800. And, you know, my expectations were so high, and I thought, you know, this is going to be good, but I don't think it's going to be that good. But it was that good. It's so, like, my expectations were high, and they were still surpassed by this game's excellence. It's a shame you'd never hear anyone talking about it. Boom. See, we only have a few levels before stuff gets crazy. Have I died yet? I think I did. Yeah, I did. Once you get into food fight, you're just completely in the zone, so, pardon me if I miss any commentary. Last time on video, we played Choplifter, and I actually beat the game. Like, I rescued all the surviving prisoners of war. We might play Choplifter later. Probably won't beat it again, but I didn't get a perfect score. That would be around, I think 64 is the perfect score. I did not get a perfect score, but I'll save that for if we play Choplifter. Now this is the beginning and the end, second to last level. You can tell they're starting to get mad. Oh, whoops, sorry. This is the level. Watch this. They run across a pile of food, you're dead. See, look at that. They don't mess around. You have to beat them to a pile of food and hold, like, stand your guard. Don't let them get to you. Oh, in the game, oh no. I fell in a hole stupidly. The covered up holes have always reminded me of breadsticks. Boom. Your throwing power and speed also increases. This game starts off a little slower paced than the arcade game, but it picks it up after a while. Most home games start off a little easier. It's for everything. Ooh, this game I bought from a guy on Atari.io, Chas10E. Not from CJ here. I don't know how he managed to not have this game, because it's so good. Oh. See if we can crack 300,000. Oh. Last life. This is serious. Jeez. Oh, no, we didn't manage to crack it. Dang it. Oh, level 20. What was that high score? Do, 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 do. 448700. 448,700. Well, that was Food Fight. Excellent game. Buy 7800 just for this. And I guess out of the next game. One of the underrated games, and one I just mentioned, Choplifter. No, this game's infamous for having a glitch with certain cartridge revisions and certain 7800 revisions, but, oh, excuse me, I am fortunate to not have had any of those yet. So the object of this game is you are a helicopter, and you're in the Bungling Empire, and these are your prisoners of war, and you have to trick the tanks into blowing up their own bases, trying to shoot you, and get the prisoners of war. Don't crush them with your helicopter stupidly. Don't let them get blown up by tanks, or jets, or weather balloons. Oh, see, he just died to a tank. And then bring them back to your secret base, in air quotes, because how secret is this, seriously? A giant American flag in the middle of what looks like an elementary school or fire department. It's supposed to be a post office, which you can kind of see, but it looks more like a school or fire department to me. There's only one level, unlike the arcade and Sega Master System versions. This is based off the original computer versions from back in the olden days, for systems like the Commodore VIC-20. You know, old systems like that. And as far as the computer version goes, this is the best port, I believe. It certainly looks the nicest. Oh, and then there's that bastard. Ooh, I hate him. He's gonna come any minute now and try to blow me up. There he is. Oh, I hate him. Die, die, die. So we just keep doing that over and over again, and each subsequent drop-off, a new thing comes. The next will be the weather balloons, which look like octopuses, which aren't that big of a threat, but you can crash into them. Kind of appear out of nowhere. I hate that jet that bombs you, though. He sucks. Oh, and if you die with passages inside of you, they are all permanently dead. Like I said, there is a max score to this game, which is about 65, 64, 65, something like that. I think my personal best is like 35, but it's not written down in the notebook. I forget what I got last time, maybe 32, 34. Maybe 36? Yeah, but there is a pretty cool glitch with this. I'm very lucky to not have encountered it, but it looks pretty cool. The graphics almost shrink. Yeah, there's that bastard, I hate him. That weather balloon I was talking about. So the red number on the left means that's how many people died on my account to like tanks or jets or crushing them with your own helicopter. I love this game. It gets a lot of flack for being repetitive, but I really like it. Ugh. See, all those people that were inside of me are dead. They're all dead. They're all dead. This is some cool, a cool instance of parallax scrolling on the Atari 7800. Didn't see that much on systems at the time. Not even really the NES, much less the 7800. I love this system, man. I love it. Drop off some people. Doing pretty well so far. Only 10 people are dead. Only 10 people are dead. Ooh. I don't think I'm gonna beat it this time, sadly. For some reason, I wonder how it'll show up on the capture device. When I emulate this game, I wonder if it's just an emulation error or if it's what it looks like when you capture it too. The grass is brown. Same with the peas in Food Fight, it's brown. I'm guessing it's an emulation error. Because that wouldn't make sense. But maybe it'll happen when it's capturing too. I would say it was the settings on my TV that was making it funky looking and brown. But I was using the Wii U gamepad too and it looked the same. Oh, come on! Dang it. Well, that's the score we got there, and really, it's not terrible actually, but I didn't beat the game, so I guess my expectations were too high. Probably. Next up on our list is the Ms. Pac-Man, who happens to be much better than either version released for the NES years later. This version was 84. Those versions were 90 and 93. And they suck. They both really suck. Oh, it's hard to tell which one's worse. One of them scrolls, which is a big no-no in my book. And the other one's just terrible all around. Right. But this version by GCC, who are the original hackers of Miss Pac-Man? And this system was actually made by GCC too. You can just, as you can see, you can select your level here. Your starting level. We'll start on cherries, as the arcade game does. They did a fantastic job with this port. Another great reason to own a 7800. Like, this is just phenomenal. I have 2 Pac-Man games. There was only one that was released at the time. There was Miss Pac-Man, which came out during the 7800's life cycle. And I have a homebrew, which was a gift from Socrates63 over at Atari.io from a junk box. Which is Super Pac-Man, which is, along with Miss Pac-Man, are my favorite Pac-Man games. I really like Super Pac-Man. It's super underrated. I don't much care for arcade regular Pac-Man. That was... wow. Can't believe I did that. So yeah, I'm playing with the Pro-Line controller. Very good. I hate when people say Miss Pac-Man is not as good because it's girly. Shut up. Just shut up. No one cares about your stupid fake masculinity that you're trying to put on to amuse the world. If you were a real man, you'd know that a good game is a good game. Female character or not, you know? Why does that stuff matter to people these days? Now, there aren't many adults with that opinion, thankfully, but still in my age group there are a few dummies. Not all, not most even, but a few standout dummies. I won't name names, but there are certainly people like that, sadly. Ooh. Sorry for knocking the tripod, it's rather close. Sorry for not being as talkative as usual. Ooh. Look at that. Miss Pac-Man. So this is an excellent conversion. I'd recommend picking this up with your 7800 in Food Fight. One of the standout games for the system. I love this game. It even has the intermissions. Just like the arcade. Yeah, with the 7800, aside from some minor graphical fidelity, they didn't really... Oh, and sound, of course. They didn't really make any sacrifices with the arcade ports. They were just top-notch. There were a few exceptions, probably. But, oh, there was... notable exceptions are the arcade ports with either vector graphics, like asteroids, or, you know, like funky controllers like Centipede. But those both turned out pretty good. I mean, they just had to change some things around. They still turned out great. $70 is a fantastic system, and it plays all your 2600 games too. Why did I not put the emphasis on 2? That was such a weird way to say that. The ghosts in this game are rather boxy looking. That's always kind of confused me. Oh, did I mention I'm not good at this game either? We played Moon Patrol on Atari Night 1, didn't we? It feels like forever ago that was. What's the high score for this game? 37,550. 37,550. We did not get close. I think we have time for maybe one more game. This Pac-Man is good, but this game is not. This is Karateka, the grand finale, or Karateka, if you will. I've always pronounced it Karateka, and I will continue throughout the remainder of this video. This is renowned as one of the worst ever video games for the 7800, if not the worst. I'll let you read this. I won't read it out loud, but you can read this crawl if you wish to. I'm not going to. And this game has very laggy controls. Very, bad controls. Yeah, it's mostly the controls that bother people. It's kind of my guilty pleasure, though. Don't ask why. Oi, yeah, it's definitely almost allergy season. Oh, jeez. But this game, I was considering doing this or Pole Position 2, which was the pack-in. But I decided to go with this, because it's, you know, I'm not going to explain the controls. I will explain that you have different stances, though. There's walking stance, which is faster, or fighting stance. In fighting stance, you need to hold the button to walk. And if you just use the joystick, you're just going to punch or kick. That's how you punch or kick the joystick. And if you're in the walking stance, you'll die just to one hit from the enemy. This game I did not pay for. This game was free. The game store wanted to get rid of it. This is probably my favorite cutscene on the 1700. Yeah, they just wanted to get rid of it. Oh, Princess Mariko, we will rescue you. Actually, no, we won't. This game is really hard. But we'll probably get to the third guy and then die and then end the video. There is no score in this game, so there is no entry in the book. It's a bit mindless, this game. Oi, I'm so excited for that Mario Brothers episode of the 2600 Game by Game podcast to come out. this Wednesday, 2 days from now. Oh, this game sucks, but I kind of like it, you know? I made a joke about this on Atari.io recently, that you could watch the entire Godfather trilogy before you, like, one punch landed after you pressed the button. Or the stick, I guess, in this case. Oh, Jesus, how stupid am I? I forgot to go in the fighting stance. Ugh. That's the game, guys. That's Atari Night. I hope you enjoyed. I had a lot of fun making this. The second time. Kind of the third time. We won't get into that. Hopefully I'll get the next video out in the series sooner than this delay. I've wanted to film this on many occasions, but I've just not had the time. So, hope you enjoyed. Like, subscribe, comment. I'll see you next night.